UConn coach Danny Hurley joins us here on CBS Sports HQ. Dan, right off the top, actually, I have a logistical question for you. You have had to do so much media now. As the coach at UConn, you are used to this, but I'm genuinely interested in how you have been able to prep to this point before you leave for Houston versus all of these media obligation abilities. I know you're a man of habits and quirks. Do you feel like you're even maybe a little behind at this point, or are you handling this all right? How has it been over the past 72 hours since you really got back on the ground there in Hartford?
Yeah, I think Matt. I just got some pretty good advice. Coach Calhoun, Gino, Coach K, Jay Wright, Tom Izzo, just gave me a little bit of a heads up over the weekend. So I just really changed my sleep schedule. Just went to bed. Gone to bed earlier. Been up at 5 a.m. Just getting a lot of the video stuff done, a lot of the prep. I've already watched 8 Miami games, and hope to have watched 12 by the time we land today in Houston. So it's as it turns out, it's probably the most preparation that I've put into any single game in my career.
All right, I'm curious on Miami's overall roster, what you're seeing on tape. Do they resemble anyone either in style or athletes in shooting? Have you played a team that's relatively similar or extremely similar to how they operate there under Jim Larinaga?
Yeah, I would say that they have some remnants of maybe the great guard play from Marquette. That Marquette would get from from Jones and Kolek. Because Miami has great guard play. With Pack and Wong and Poplar and Miller is really just a big versatile wing. So they have the offensive talent, the one-on-one ability of Marquette, just deeper. But then they also have the length and athleticism of Arkansas, and and the center who's Omir, who's a beast physically. It's going to be our greatest challenge of the season to get past these guys.
Yeah, Omir's just a physical specimen, and he's so good on the boards. I'm wondering with Sanogo and then Klingon, because of Omir's size and rebounding ability, will you need to adjust how you actually use that rotation because they don't play on the floor at the same time, or do you get to mostly stay in your game the way you want to, and how you will deploy Sanogo and then when you bring in Klingon?
Yeah, the variables change. Obviously, foul trouble, how the game's going, what's working offensively. Omir does make it difficult to throw the ball inside because he's one of the few interior bigs that that really works to front the post. He's also super aggressive in ball screen defense. They're one of the hardest hedging, trapping, ball screen defensive teams. We're not ball screen reliant, so we could work our way around that. But yeah, I think just having those two centers, you really each game you're kind of playing it by ear based on matchups, what's working, who's got it going, and it's obviously a great luxury.
Away from the court, away from the strategy, you're such a huge family man. I wondered what this must be like for you to reach this height in your career. You go from having never won an NCAA tournament game under UConn to now making the Final Four and being the favorite to win. And you're doing this with your son, Andrew, being a part of the team. How is it like being a dad to have these two incredible experiences? You do this everything as a coach and with your team, and then one of the guys in that locker room you've known since the day he was born.
Yeah, Matt, having Andrew around, you miss so many things when you make the choice to become a coach. Obviously, then it goes to another level when you decide to become a college coach because it truly is a 12-month a year commitment with very very little time to get away. So a lot of the time I missed when he was in high school or late in middle school where I wasn't around, and I missed a lot of things. You get a chance to make up for that, and I get a chance to see him every day and experience the highs and lows together. Whenever you experience things like this together, it brings you closer. And he's been a lot of times my therapist. He's been my therapist when things aren't going well with the team, and just somebody to come over and give me a hug, a pat on the back. It's it's just been it's unexplainable the joy I've gotten from the time I've been able to spend with him and the experiences.
Dan, I say this respectfully, but I feel like you might have 7 or 8 therapists around the team, but obviously your son might be chief among all of them. So that's wonderful to hear, and I know that's a very special moment for you. Last thing, I am interviewing you on the court on Monday night after having won a national championship. If what happens, not just against Miami, but big picture, not knowing who you would face theoretically between FAU and SDSU, what core principles have to be achieved if you're going to get 2 more victories, Dan?
Yeah, it's all about identity for us. Obviously, as a leader, I've got to kind of keep that balance with this team of the confidence and the joy of getting to a Final Four, which is not easy to do, while keeping that edge and that hunger to strive for more. But in the end, it's all about identity. Our season started to tank when our defense really began to suffer in Big East play. We went from an elite defensive team in the non-conference to a 6 to 8 game stretch where we just didn't guard anybody. So, for us, it's about identity, being the hardest playing team on the court, playing that elite defense, that top 20 level defense, win the backboard, which is going to be tough against these guys because they go get it. And then obviously we have a lot of variety on offense. When we're high assists, we're very hard to stop and the ball's moving.
Dan Hurley, thank you for joining us on CBS Sports HQ, and I will see you down in Houston.
Thanks, Matt. Appreciate you, my friend.